Hey guys, it's Lovey, back at it again with another video for you. So, it is day 2 of 13 days till Halloween, and we're gonna take some kind of creepy stories from our lovely friend, Let's Not Meet, the subreddit on Reddit. For entertainment purposes, we're just gonna pretend that all these stories are true. I'm not sure if they are, I'm not sure if they aren't, but we're just gonna pretend like they are because it makes it a whole lot creepier. This one is called Halloween Strangers. It was my turn to take my kids trick-or-treating. The previous year, it was my wife's, and we trade back and forth every year. My son and daughter are age 7 and 9. Usually I stay on the street while my kids go up to the different houses to collect candy. After about half an hour of walking around, we came to one of the more popular hotspots for candy collecting, a main street in the neighborhood. Lots of really cool decorations and animatronics on people's lawns, so I became a bit distracted and stopped watching my kids closely. At one point, they came back from a house accompanied by another girl about the same height as my daughter. She was wearing a weird homemade mask, like a cardboard cutout or something. My daughter asked if she could trick or treat with us, so I said sure, and we carried on together as a group. I didn't know who this girl was, but I figured she was a friend from school. As we continued, I started to notice a large man trailing us. He was wearing some sort of angry cat mask, and it was kind of creepy, to be honest. I thought that maybe he was the father of the girl, so I tried to start up some small chat with him. I said something like, "Nice weather, eh?" But he didn't respond. He just stood there staring at me while our kids went up the stairs to the next house. I tried again, asking, "Hey, is that your daughter?" He nodded, but didn't say anything. I figured he just wasn't in the mood for chatting, so I stopped trying. We carried on for about another 15 minutes, until suddenly my kids came up and said that they wanted to go home. This surprised me, as we hadn't been out for too long and their bags were only about a third full. In any case, I agreed. We waved goodbye at the man in the cat mask and his daughter, and started on our way home. The weird thing is that I glanced back at the man and his daughter were just standing there, staring at us. I checked one more time as we turned the corner and they were still standing there, not having moved at all. See, I'm already a little questionable because I wouldn't just pick up somebody's random ass kid and start trick-or-treating with them. That would have been the first thing to note, like, who is this? Like, at this point, I decided to ask my kids, "So who was that girl?" My daughter looked up at me with a confused look on her face. "She's your friend," my daughter replied. I asked her what she meant. Apparently, the girl with the cardboard mask approached them and said she was a friend of mine. She told my daughter she was too shy to ask me if she could join us to trick-or-treat and wanted my daughter to ask me instead. I laughed at this story and replied to my daughter, "Why would you think she was my friend? I don't have any children friends." What my daughter said next chilled my bones. According to her, when the girl with the cardboard mask approached them for the first time, she wasn't wearing the mask, so they were able to see her face. And it turned out she wasn't a little girl at all, but an older woman around my age with wrinkles on her face. This is starting to sound like an even creepier version of that Natalia Barnett story. And what the hell? What's even more disturbing, the old woman had started to steal treats from my daughter's bag, apparently when I wasn't looking. This is when they asked me to go home. The old woman was creeping them out and they wanted to just get away from her. I brought my kids home and told my wife what happened. We made sure to check through all their candy, but didn't find anything suspicious or off. We didn't call the police or anything since nothing had really happened, but thinking back, I kind of regret that decision now. What the heck was that old woman doing? Who the hell was that man following us around? I don't think I'll ever know. I just think it's sick that there are people out here on Halloween hiding behind masks, pretending to be children. Okay, that one was, I don't know. I'm a little bit, like, uncomfortable reading that. Just because it's like, it went from, like, a kind of normal Halloween story to, like, oh yeah, it turned out it was a grandma, like, pretending to be some little kid to get some candy. But that's okay. This one is called Devil's Playhouse. This happened about 7 years ago, but it still really freaks me out. My hometown was a canyon that is rumored to be haunted. The story is that a woman lost her husband in a mining accident and she haunts the canyon searching for him. In the same canyon there exists a building, very much off of the main In the same canyon, there exists a building very much off of the main trail, named the Devil's Playhouse, because it's said to be the place where devil worshippers go on satanic holidays in order to do their rituals and whatnot. I was a wannabe ghost hunter and spent a lot of time in this canyon, specifically drawn to the Playhouse. It was an old factory with a lot of mysterious writings on the wall and holes into rooms that had no entrance. To get to the factory, you had to drive way off the trail on a very beaten-up dirt road, and just after the house, there was a fence. As daring as I was, I always turned around at that fence so I could get out of there easily if we got scared. From there, you had to climb in and out of the deep ditch to actually get to the Playhouse. Just the way that you have to get here is enough to let me be like, you probably shouldn't fucking be there. Now that the description is out of the way, here's what happened that caused me to never go there again. I had brought my youngest sister and 2 younger cousins up there. We were messing around taking pictures when my little sister swore she saw a camera pointed towards from the rocks outside the window of a warehouse. I didn't really see it, but my sister was really freaked out. We decided to take a break from the Playhouse and walked about 100 feet to a bunch of large stone fixtures. Now, I had been up that canyon many, many times, and rarely did I see another car, especially at the Devil's Playhouse. But suddenly, a truck made its way along the trail. When the driver caught sight of us, he slowed down to probably 5 miles per hour, and the passenger was very noticeably pointing a camera our way. They then proceeded to drive past my car, then back up to it so we were bumper to bumper. I really thought they were going to tow my car or something. They left their truck on, and then 2 men stepped out and climbed through the ditch. They walked around the far side of the Playhouse from us, and my sister pointed out it was the side the camera was on. I was the adult in this situation, so I was coming up with any reason to give these guys as to why we were there, just in case we were trespassing. We had to walk back to the house to get to the only safe part of the ditch, and as we approached, the men stepped out. They were maybe mid-30 or so. They didn't say a word. They didn't smile. They just stood where we had to walk right past them with no emotion on their faces at all. We made it to my car and drove off, but I just had a really sick feeling in my stomach, like they were hiding something up there. I decided to park at the base of the entrance of the trail to the Playhouse and just wait for them to come back down. I was stupid, I know. Another car pulled up beside us, and the old man who was driving it stared at us. He was seriously creepy, and it scared the shit out of us, so I drove back down to town. The car followed. He even parked at the gas station we went to. We had gone inside, and he sat in the parking lot for a good 20 minutes before leaving. I'm still not entirely sure what happened or why, but strange men who were hiding something at Devil's Playhouse, let's not meet. Okay, that one actually kind of made me nervous, because I was like, oh, they about to get kidnapped and sacrificed. Oh my god, they about to die. Thank God nothing bad happened, but that one was creepier than the first one, definitely. Like, I don't know. I just wouldn't, first of all, suggest going up anywhere where you know that weird shit goes down, because they was probably getting ready to do a ritual and you were interrupting them. So they're like, go make sure those kids don't interrupt our ritual before they become a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that is the end of my video. If you guys liked it, don't forget to hit that big thumbs up button and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!